Hey, what's going on, everyone? Henry Kaminsky here from passionpreneur.net, and we have an awesome guest today on the video podcast. His name is Sean Whalen. If you haven't seen him yet on social media, specifically on Facebook, this guy moves mountains when it comes to engaging, getting people motivated, telling people how it is, and really a true influencer in every sense of the form. So, Big Sean, how we doing, my man?
Good, awesome, man. Just hanging out at the shop, getting the race truck ready.
Oh man. So I want to, for those of you who don't know you, how did you come on the scene, real quick? Give us like the 3 minute, backstory.
Yeah. So I went through a really nasty divorce, and right. I went through a really nasty divorce and bankruptcy. Was really successful at a really young age, multimillionaire in my early 20s, self-made, grew up in a single parent home, yada yada yada. We've heard the story a million times. I went through. I kind of burned it all to the ground in my by the time I was 30, and kind of went through this 2-year hiatus, if you will. Kind of spent 2 years with my head up my ass, out in the wilderness, trying to figure out what this whole thing was about, what life was about. I thought about killing myself. I thought about checking out. I thought, like, what's the purpose? Like, why am I here? All the crazy, gnarly, hardcore thoughts. And I was challenged to start, studying, meditating. Like, I hired a coach and went through this process to try and answer some questions, get this shit figured out. And how did it come onto the scene was one night I just shared some raw truth on Facebook. I mean, I had 200 friends, typical Facebook asshole, just posting whatever and funny memes and some kid eating shit on a skateboard and ha ha ha, whatever. Pretty much what 95% of the people post. And I just poured my soul out, and I talked about my divorce, and I talked about how big of a dick I was, and it went viral. It went crazy. It had a few million shares, tens of millions of views, comments. I mean, it went all over the world, and it really quick, and it kind of put me on the scene as like this influencer. And I started talking to men's groups, women's groups, divorce groups, picked up 50,000 followers in a matter of like a week and a half. So it was kind of this, like, I didn't wake up in the morning and go, hey, I want to become this influencer guy. I was just trying to figure out how to live life. I was just trying to figure out how to make sense of everything, as a single dad, who was this multimillionaire who had burned it all to the ground. And so it kind of put me in this unique position, and it's just grown since then. I've continued to kind of share more and more and more, and 300 plus million views, tens of millions of likes and comments and shares. My stuff's been shared all over the world. So it's what kind of put me on the social map, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Well, I want to point out something that's super, super powerful is that you said you poured your heart out. You showed the true inner self. And, a lot of people are so afraid of doing that, which is holding them back tremendously in whatever it is that they're trying to achieve. And, in 2017, man, the competition is tough. I mean, it is cutthroat. So how the hell do you stand out from the rest of everyone else out there that are doing Facebook Lives every 4 minutes and, trying to be seen? I've been following you a while now, and you never seem to disappoint when it comes to telling people the truth. So let's talk about that for a second.
It's really simple, man. There's a really simple answer to that question, and it's tell the fucking truth. I mean, it's really that simple. People think that, there's a magic rabbit, that there's some sort of algorithm that I've figured out, that there's some sort of like, thing that I've got going on, or, this or that or the other. But the truth of the matter is, like, it's the truth. I share my truth. I share how I feel. I share my experiences. I share what I've fucked up, what I've failed, what I've done right, what I've done wrong. And it's me. It's real. It's not like, I see all the same people you see. I see all the same shit you see. And people keep asking, how does your tribe keep growing and growing and growing and growing? And it's really simple, man. I just keep sharing the same thing, and it's me. And a lot of people try and create cool funnels and cool messages, and they do like fancy videos, and they try and do like, you know, green screen shit and studio shit and get the right audio. I mean, I'm fucking sitting in my truck right now at my shop fixing my race truck. Like, you know, every single one of the videos I've ever done has been on this.
Yeah.
Like 300 plus million views have come from this iPhone. Because like when the Almighty tells me to start shooting whatever the universe, whatever the fuck it is, like when that passion hits, when that excitement hits, when that truth hits, I freaking shoot it and I share it. And I really don't give any fucks whether or not people like it. It's just mine. And I kind of figured that, you know, this thing called social media, this thing called Facebook, has become kind of my journal of sorts. Like I just start sharing stuff and sharing stuff and sharing stuff. But there's really no purpose to it. Like there's no, hey, I'm trying to build this business and I have to have this many likes and this many comments and this many posts and this many whatever. It's like, I'm just sharing me. I tell people about my kids. I tell people about life. I tell people about like how I feel, what I believe and shit like that. And 99.9% of the marketers, of the gurus, they're all full of shit. I mean, straight up, they're all full of shit, which is why they argue and fight and say that I do it wrong and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, cool, bro. What are your fucking results? You know what I'm saying? Like, show me your results. Because at the end of the day, my tribe's growing. You know, I'm living more of a lifestyle that I've wanted to live since who knows when. And, you know, people are grinding and trying to like sell people shit. And so, I mean, it's kind of a long answer to a short question, but the recipe is very, very, very simple. And there's only one ingredient. It's truth.
What
does that mean, Sean? Like, what do you mean the truth? What does that mean? Tell the fucking truth, man. Like, tell the fucking truth. 99% of the dudes who go through a divorce talk about how big of a bitch she was and how she didn't do this and she didn't do that. No, motherfucker, you were probably an asshole. You're just too scared to say it. You're too scared to admit that you were fucking egotistical and arrogant and prideful. But that's the truth, you know? Yeah. And that's where most people have they're terrified to share what's really in their bank account. Most of these marketers and whatever, they're not going to show you their bank statements. They never will. Because they're full of shit.
Yeah. And listen, you know, it is what it is, man. And it was funny. I see a lot of this, like a lot of people that are coming out with courses, right? Courses. And it was funny. It was funny. My wife was at dinner last night with me, and she goes, because I just went to Russell Brunson's event last week in Dallas. Yeah. And it was a cool event. Tony Robbins was there. I mean, I like Russell. Russell's a pretty solid guy. And she goes, like, what kind of entrepreneurs were in the audience? Like, what types of businesses do these people own or operate? And I said, well, there's a lot of these marketers or multi-level guys, and then there's these people out there that like want to build these courses. And she goes, well, what makes them an expert to actually build the course? Like, why should anybody buy that course?
And read a book. That's what makes them an expert. They read a book or they did a Facebook post and now they're an expert in a field.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not knocking it, man. I love it. Russell's done a phenomenal job. I personally use ClickFunnels. You go to any of my shit, Lions Not Sheep Experience, Lions Not Sheep Den. I built all those. They're freaking generic as shit, man. They're like cookie cutter. Because at the end of the day, when people come to my stuff, I'm like, look, you're coming here not because you found some slick ass funnel and, you know, all of this other stuff. You're coming because you saw one of my videos, you've seen me say something and it resonated with you. So you got one of two options, either jump in or fuck off. Like, and that's my pitch. That's how it is. And it's not rude. It's not mean, but like, you know, there's nothing wrong with what anybody's doing. Don't mistake that I'm trying to knock what everybody's business is. Good for you, man. If you're hustling, grinding, putting food on the table, sweet. But your question was, how do you build a fucking tribe? Like, what do you do to do that? And it's not ClickFunnels. It's not your fucking screen. It's not your green screen. It's not what kind of mics you have at your fucking podcast and all this other bullshit. It doesn't matter about your logo and your letterhead and your fucking business cards. It matters your content. Like, what the fuck are you telling people? Are you giving people you and the truth? Because the day and age is radically shifting. Malcolm Gladwell talked about in the tipping point. Like, we're at a tipping point. We've gone from this digital sell me, like all of these processes and systems to like, who the fuck are you? Like our society is hungry for truth. They're starving for real, vulnerable authenticity. And how do I know this? Because I'm proving it. I mean, I'm proving it. I've built a 7-figure business, and I've already put my bank statements online. That's no bullshit. I've put my fucking bank statements online. Like a week and a half ago, I did, with another guru who was talking a whole load of shit. I said, boom, screenshot. Here's my bank statement for the last 12 months. Post yours. Guess what he didn't post? The bank statement. I'm saying, like, that's what people want. People want real shit. And this thing right here is more powerful than any fucking funnel, anything that you could come up with, and websites and landing pages and all that other bullshit. Give people you, and you'll build a fucking empire.
That's it. Wow. I guess that's it. We're done. I mean, what else do you
It's scary though, man. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's a scary proposition because it exposes you.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but Brené Brown wrote, in her book about vulnerability, and it really touched me because I really truly believe the ultimate source of power is vulnerability. I mean, you don't hear people that go up and that have they're terrified of public speaking. They go up and go, "That's it. I'm never doing that shit again." They sit down from this public speaking engagement like, "Holy shit, I'm like on fire. I want to do that again." You know what I'm saying? That's power, man. Getting vulnerable, getting real, showing that you're normal, showing that you're totally fucked up like everybody else is fucked up, and actually admitting it is the power. That's what people want. But the problem is we live in a society where you're taught and programmed to lie. And so we're just surrounded by fucking liars, and we don't know what's truth and what's not. So when somebody comes along and drops a video or something that's like truth, you're like, whoa, what the fuck? Just hold the phone for a second, you know?
They're not ready for it. They're not ready for it. There's a lot of skepticism out there. There's a lot of cynicism out there. It's like, why should I listen to you? Why should I hire you? Why should I believe you? And
I love that question, by the way.
Yeah. So talk to them. So I saw this thing. I got to share with you because I was watching Seth Godin do a video once on Sunday, matter of fact, and he was talking about his new book or whatever, and he said everybody's like so paying attention to being like the cheapest on the block or being 10 cents cheaper to get the sale, right? He said we should focus on being 10 cents more trusted, and I found that to be super powerful. And so, what are some ways that you can get out there and start to build that trust other than, provide that content? Because here's the question. They all ask me, well, what should I be putting out there? I'm not sure. Like, it's all the wrong questions where it's like, what do people want from you? So talk to us about that a little bit, about what should they be putting out there?
You.
Yeah.
Like literally, like it's that. But what? But, dude, shut the fuck up and just listen. Like, put you out there. Put your shit. Put your love, your fantasies, your fears. Like, sit down with your queen and have a conversation and share with the world and tell everybody what you like about being a father or a mother or whatever. What your fears are, your reservations. Like, people want you, man. They want you, and that's the simplest, easiest answer. And then 99.9% of the people overcomplicate it. Yeah. They're like, well, I don't know, and let me go buy a course on how to share online. You're buying it from a motherfucker who's never shared online. But what is he? He's a good marketer, and he got you to spend your $9.97, and then he's going to pitch you his $29.97, and then his $99.97, and then his $119.97. You see what I'm saying? You're buying a course on how to share shit on Facebook from a dude who's not sharing shit on Facebook but has a really slick sales page.
Boom. Yeah.
Like, think about it for a second. People want you. All of my big clients, all my corporate clients, all my personal clients, like, I have them share the same shit. Like, you. Who are you? People try and wrap everything around like all kinds of bullshit, and people want you. So, like, your first part of your question where you're talking about when people come to you and say, hey, why should I work with you? Why should I hire you? My answer is really simple. Motherfucker, you sought me out. You sent me a message asking if I can help you. Don't fucking ask me, should I hire you? You came to me. I'm interviewing your ass. I know that sounds arrogant and presumptuous in the market, but I'm interviewing you to see if you're a good fit for my business. People, I get 20 messages a week. hey, dude, I saw you helped so-and-so. I'm thinking about hiring a coach. Like, what can you do for me? What the fuck kind of question is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, the whole mentality, in my opinion, is wrong. I shouldn't say that it's wrong. It's just I'm doing it differently, and it's working really, really well. And that's what I teach on. I teach on what I know. I teach on what I've experienced. I coach on what's like really happening. I don't coach on theory or I read in a book once or I went to a seminar and learned this. It's like bullshit. Here's what I did when I was really fucking depressed and wanted to kill myself. This is what I did. Here's what happened when my ex-wife and I were like literally trading our kids at a police station for 6 months. Here's what I did. Here's what happened when I went bankrupt and spent 19 months in public courts being like publicly crucified for being a fraud and all this other shit. How did I come back from that and build another multi-million-dollar business? Like, what did I do? What do I do to share videos every day? How do I share videos every day? What do I talk about every day? None of it's theory. It's everything that I do, which is why, I can speak the way that I do about it because it's all me. And that's what people don't understand is I tell people over and over and over and over again, all my clients, add value. Like this, the recipe, the secret is add value. And the value, which most people don't understand, is you.
Right.
You're the value.
Right.
Your life is not my life, bro. Like, Henry, your life has been this and this, and you've done this, and you fucked this up, and you all this other shit. There's value in every single thing that you've experienced, you've felt, you've learned, you've done. Your tribe's not my tribe's not your tribe. But like, when I tell clients add value, they're like, well, what's the value? Like my business or my building or how many employees we have? I'm like, no, dude, you're the value.
Right.
You're the value. Who do we buy from? Who do we like? Who do we follow? Who do we invest in? People that we like, people that we resonate with.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You're the value.
There's no freaking there's no secret sauce when it comes to engaging people. It's putting the shit out there and basically letting what comes back to you come back to you. And that's kind of how my business took the turn back 3 years ago when Russell came to, when I sought out Russell and said, hey, dude, help me get back on track here. And the biggest thing he said was, dude, you're a great designer. Clearly you know what you're doing there, but there's no personality to this business at all. And if people knew who Henry really was, it's probably going to change your business and your life. So why don't you get out there and start doing that? And that's kind of what forced me. I never had a loss of words. I was always, I learned that from my mom. Like my mom always had the gift of gab, and she was always, God bless her soul, she was always like the center of attention. So that I had, but I didn't know how to use it or leverage it for my business. And when I started to do that, I started to attract people like Russell and Kobe and all these folks that are really cool people. And one of the biggest things that I learned, if I could share with you, is I was the douchebag too back in the day, and I came out, when I started my business, I was 25, 26 years old. I did pretty well at that young age, and I came out like I was some hot shot. And I meant well, but my actions weren't the same. And people saw the outside. They saw the cars. They saw the stuff. And I started to attract real assholes. I mean, I was attracting what I was putting out. And it wasn't until I got mentally slapped, not only by Russell, but I hired a coach on the mindset side of things. And they said, dude, you're just getting back what you're putting out. And it was the best piece of advice that I ever got. And I immediately changed everything on how I saw the world, how I treated people. And I was like, holy shit, if I just put myself out there like who I really am, it was a breath of fresh air, dude, because you know what? It was a lot easier to live that way.
That's what I teach my clients. That's the reason I put this, I've made this lighthouse, I don't know if you can see it, a permanent fixture on my body, because one of my coaches, he shared the story of the lighthouse and the tugboat with me a couple years ago, and it never really clicked. It never resonated with me. And then I was sitting with him in Texas at his house, and he shared it again, and all of a sudden, like, the world just kind of exploded. Like, everything made sense. And, I started to understand that, like, A lighthouse truly doesn't give a shit how many boats are out there, whether there's 1 or 5 or 10 or 500 or 5,000. Like, it has one job. And it doesn't matter if there's 50 seagulls shitting on it. It doesn't matter if there's wind whipping, storms blowing. It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter if it's a luxury yacht or if it's a little dinghy. It doesn't matter, like, what is going on. The lighthouse has one job, and that's just to shine light.
Yeah.
And that, like, it resonated with me where, like, you know, I banter with people on Facebook, and I keep some trolls around for a reason, because they're good for Facebook algorithms. Let's call it what it is, you know? But at the end of the day, like, when I share what I share, it's like a shoot it and ship it mentality, where it's real, it's happening, it's raw. Oh, dude, you spelled this wrong, or you should have said it this way, or you should have done it that way. I'm like, yeah, that's the reason that hundreds of thousands of people will look at my videos, because it's real and it's raw. And I have one objective, and that's just to shine the light. You know, one of the biggest things I see happening in the marketplace that guys are struggling with is they're trying to sell everybody. Every message, every video, every post has some ulterior motive of trying to sell somebody something. I have a course, I have a book, I have an ebook, I got a thing. I mean, you see guys like, you know, Grant Cardone. He doesn't do just real posts like chilling with his wife, smoking a stogie, talking about whatever. Everything's like, buy my shit, buy my shit, buy my shit, buy my shit, which is cool for that type of guy, the young hustler, the kid who just wants to work 20 hours a day and sell his ass off. That's awesome. And that's the reason he's attracting, you know, those kinds of people. But I want to chill with my horses and freaking work 1 or 2 hours a day and do what I want to do. And so that's why I'm attracting the people that I'm attracting. But, like, at the end of the day, man, it's so, what you just said is, like, it's brilliant, because it's exactly what I believe. Like, the weight has become like nothing. There's no more weight on the shoulders. There's no more pressure. There's no more anxiety. There's no more fear. There's no more, oh shit, I hope they like this, or what if they don't like that, or what if I put this out and it doesn't get traction or whatever. I literally don't fucking care. I legitimately don't fucking care whether you like me, you like my shit, you like what I post or not. You know, I simply shine. That's it. I shine, and my shining is just me. It's me giving the universe and the world me. Oh, well, Sean, you're a presumptuous dick. Cool. Go follow Oprah. I don't fucking care. You know what I'm saying? Like, I truly don't care. And I think that's what's resonating with people, is they realize, like, I come across a lot of times like a dick, but at the end of the day, the people that know me know that, like, and you know this, man, if you live your life for other people, if you live your life trying to curate a message that's going to sell everybody, you end up selling nobody.
Yeah.
So why not curate a message that's authentic and real and truthful to you? And then the other crazy assholes like me that think like me, that believe like me, that want to live a life like me, are like, I dig that. And you just attract this is why I don't sell. You go on my Facebook, you'll never see a post from like, hey guys, if you'd sign up now, you know, the $49 fee is $19. You know, I don't do any of that shit. I don't sell anything. Yet I built a 7-figure coaching and consulting business simply because I'm shining, and the right people are seeing the light. They're coming to me saying, it's the perfect business to do whatever I want, wherever I want, and I love it.
Yeah, I think just to wrap this up, because I value your time, you hit so many different nuggets here, and a couple of them were, and correct me if I'm wrong, is one is just being authentic. Yeah, just being authentic. The other one is just to just speak your true voice and talk of what you know, not what people want or is selling, right? And just be you. I mean, I don't understand why everybody else is out there trying to, again, be something that they're not. And I think that is the biggest mistake. And I see grown-ups doing this shit. It's not just kids.
Most of them are.
I know.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do I get the message out there? And sometimes, you know, my wife will say, what are you getting so frustrated for? You know, it's like, because I see these people struggling and worrying about the stupidest shit in the world. And it's like, if you just lived your life, like you just said, you know, just do you, everything's going to change. But some people are just hard-headed, and some people get it, some people don't. But if I mean that's what I preach. Like I'm a designer. I help people build brands. So like branding is like building trust and building the message that you want to be known for, and just coming into the world like in a unique way. I didn't name my business what I named it for no reason. I truly think everybody can come in to this world and have their place, and like you said, share their light. And I mean, dude, you hit it. And this isn't brain science.
No, it's not. It's not.
So, you know, it's crazy. So listen, man, I so appreciate your time. I know you're freaking busy as hell building cars and shooting guns and just being awesome. So, you there? You there?
Hard and it's science and
Oh, there you are. Um, did you catch me?
yeah, I'm here.
Okay, cool. Um, so if there's one voice you want this audience to hear before we go, or that one thing that you want to like cement into their freaking brain to help them live a better life and grow a bigger business, what would that be? We lost them.